Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA. It's the 378. I am Brendan. UFC 299 O'Malley versus Vera Edos prelims. All right, we're going to be talking about Curtis Blaydes versus Jailton Almeida and the rest of the prelims, breaking them all down round by round, talking about the fights, implications of those fights. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way you know the next video is coming out. I'd appreciate if you like this video. Hit the like button. Let's get into some fights. Okay. I don't know if you can tell by my shirt. This is not going to be an unbiased review of this performance. This is not going to be an unbiased. I already got a stupid smile on my face. God dang. Okay, Curtis Blaydes taking on Jailton Almeida. Let's just talk about the fight. Boy. They wanted Almeida to fight they want him to be in title contention so bad. And I understand that Blaydes has to fight these contenders as he goes through. Looking at the heavyweight division, with Blaydes being ranked number 5 before this weekend, I think the fact that Stipe Miocic, I love Stipe, should not be in the rankings anymore. With his, Blaydes has the loss to Pavlovich, never fought Gone. And he has that win over Aspinall, but it was, a BS injury from Aspinall. That's not a real win, and he wants to run that back. Let's talk about the fight. Almeida immediately wants to shoot and gets him against the cage, gets him down right away, right? So in this fight, Rogan, of course, saying like, "Oh, we've never seen this before. Nobody's controlled Curtis." Absolutely, that's true. He gets to the back and keeps him down, wearing on him. Almeida putting together a string of boo fest, right? Like his last 2 fights they were ready. Like, imagine if that continues for 3 rounds, what kind of reception Almeida would be getting. Is it an excitement that he's so good, or is it that he just holds people down and refuses to put himself like, I think if you show a pattern of doing that, you should be punished. I don't mean monetarily or even taking fights. Like that's going to happen anyway. Dana's never a fan of that shit. I mean, by the referee. I think that if you show a pattern of holding people down and not committing yourself to offense, you should be warned almost immediately that you need to do some shit because we're not going through this again. What he did with Derek Lewis was virtually unwatchable. And this first round, virtually unwatchable, horrible, fucking bad to watch, right? And the fans hated it. Everybody fucking hates it. It's stupid. Second round, Almeida shoots and Blaydes puts him to fucking sleep. Let's go, Razor Blaydes. Fuck yes. Woo! Man, this is so exciting. It keeps him in the running. I did not expect this at all. I thought Almeida was going to hold him down and then possibly get a submission or wear him out or something. Almeida was trying to put the crowd to sleep, and Blaydes says, nuh-uh, you go to sleep. You go to sleep. It's your turn. What a big message, not to the heavyweight division necessarily, because Blaydes has been here, but to anybody coming up in the heavyweight division, knowing that like you're going to have to deal with Blaydes, and he's not gone yet. He's not gone. So what does this mean for Blaydes? Fuck. He's never got a title shot. He's been passed over for multiple reasons. We don't have to get into it if you want to see some of my other stuff. The long and short of it is DC versus Stipe clogged the division for a while. The fact that he had to fight, he's had to fight Derek Lewis, couldn't get past him. Part of it's Blaydes' fault, right? Losing to Pavlovich, losing to Derek Lewis obviously doesn't help his cause. I would argue that he is later in his career now. He just doesn't have that heavyweight chin. Regardless of how he performed here, we all know he just does not have that heavyweight chin. Can't take a punch at heavyweight. I don't think he's a bad fighter. I think he's fucking fantastic, and I love his story. Plus, like if you go back far enough in my videos, you'll know that I'm a huge Curtis Blaydes fan. So it doesn't matter why. I'd be down to watch him fight for a title. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, him fighting versus Aspinall would be fantastic. I'd love to see it. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get the title shot. I wish. Here, this is the last thing I'll say, and I'll move on. I still want to see Curtis Blaydes versus Stipe Miocic. That's what I want to see. It's the last thing. It would just vindicate some of my feelings that I had when Miocic was champion and Blaydes was the number 1 contender, number 2 contender. It's that Blaydes had what it took to be champion given the circumstances, and he just was never given the opportunity. Right? And you can talk about his boring performance or whatever and that. Like, he told everybody exactly what he was going to do. He was always working to finish. It's just he couldn't get it. Right? He didn't get into mount and then hold the guy down and do that. Like, he was inside control. He was doing lots of stuff. And yes, he's not the most exciting fighter in certain times, but he's got plenty of knockouts against other strikers. Again, it's hard for me to be unbiased. I'm just not going to be when I watch a Blaydes fight. I'm not going to be when he gets a win. I'm very happy for him. I hope he gets a title shot, but I really just want to see him fight Stipe Miocic. If he beats Miocic, it kind of gives me that vindication that he had what it took. So if he has a competitive fight, it gives me that as well. If Miocic shuts him down at this point in their careers, then it kind of tells me like, okay, Miocic would have been champion and Blaydes didn't stand a chance. So I just want to see that. That's all. If you didn't watch this one, skip the first. You can watch the first round. It builds up really well to the start of that second, and then watch him put his fucking lights out in that second round. Hell yes. Katlyn Cerminara versus Maycee Barber. No longer Katlyn Chookagian. Barber moving in, ducking, and throwing big hooks. Clinch is going 50-50 with Cerminara, getting the better of it as it continues. So not 50-50. I wrote down. I'm an idiot. I wrote it. It's like, oh yeah, it's 50-50 as I'm watching it, and Cerminara is getting the better of the clinches. I'm like, that's not 50-50. Heavy sprawl from Barber puts Cerminara's head on the mat hard. Looked to rock her even a little bit. Cerminara looking to duck under for the takedown. Barber powers through them and landing a couple of shots. A ton of grappling from Cerminara. Barber landing more damage. 10-9. Barber won this round easy, 31-22. She had this round. Lots of grappling in these. So many boring fights, by the way, in the prelims. I'll highlight some fun ones, but it's lots of boring fights. That first round of the Blaydes fight, boring. The jab and the right hand land well for Cerminara, and the front kick to the face. The sloppy stuff from Barber isn't finding the mark, and Cerminara is finding the spots to throw her shots. Barber holding on to the clinch now. Cerminara did more damage through the round. I don't want to hear anything about those bullshit takedowns. Striking numbers 24-22. She did more damage with her shots. Maycee Barber did not look at the headshots from Cerminara, 20-12, and I know she doesn't hit that hard, but the control time did nothing. She had, one ground strike, Barber did, so no damage in the control time that she had. There was virtually nothing, so that is just a change of position. This is not a round for Barber. If he gave it to her, I get it, but no, that ain't right. 19-19 going to third. Barber's trying to bully her way in, finding the mark well, landing to the neck on a couple of shots. Barber's just catching her when Cerminara overextends. She ends up walking past Barber way too much. Barber keeps kicking to the body, looking like it bothers Cerminara. The corner noticed it, but I don't think Barber did. Barber doing enough this round. Still a stinker. This was a stinker of a fight. 31-20 in favor of Barber in this last round. Obviously, 29-28 for me. I think that the scorecards went... Christopher Lee is the only one who had it 29-28, given that second round of Cerminara. Everybody else had it 30-27. Okay, I get it. I'm not a fan of that shit. Like, I'm not giving someone points. I don't think the damage was even. I thought that she got out damaged in that round. Barber, she's got a lot to work on, but in this division, it doesn't take much to get a title. Mateusz Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos. This one, there were some really fun moments, but overall a very lackluster fight. Gamrot with the clean boxing to start. Dos Anjos hurts him with the knee and then lands the left hand. Gamrot was hurt bad. Clinches up to save himself. Gamrot looking to go to the ground. Dos Anjos wants no part of that, punishing him for the attempt, landing the low kicks and the hard left straight to the body. Gamrot does get the takedown, doesn't do anything with it. This round was for Dos Anjos. I don't want to hear that it was for Gamrot. He had 2 minutes and 35 seconds of control time. Some of that was on the ground. This was not a good round for him. Even though he did outstrike him 19-11. The dude got rocked. There's no way he was saving that with the amount of volume that he put out there. Second round, Gamrot finds the mark with the body kick, but is really looking for the takedown. Not a lot of damage from either guy with the 45 seconds left, but it was all Gamrot from the takedown, the clinch, even though he runs away on the feet. Anytime they get into exchanges, he did get outstruck here, 12-10. But Dos Anjos wasn't able to do enough damage with those shots, and Gamrot was able to run away enough, right? And like when he did exchange, it was 2 minutes and 40 seconds of clinch control. So at 19-19 going to the third, Gamrot jabbing and running as the round moves on, only looking for the takedown, not really looking to exchange. As it did go on, he would jab and poke, even landing a straight every so often. Gamrot using the fence to hold him against the fence. He got warned multiple times, but no punishment for that, so cheating does benefit, even though he was winning. Gamrot did find the mark with a couple shots down the stretch, but running is never a good look. 28-13, he definitely outstruck him in this round. Looking at the judges' scorecards, all three... Nope. Jason Grenier and Christopher Lee gave the first round to Dos Anjos. Eric Colon gave all 3 rounds to Gamrot. So there was nothing that he was going to do in that round, in the last round, to get back. That was not a good fight to watch. Bad, boring fight. I mean, Gamrot's known for his grappling and stuff, but when you have a guy who can cancel it out and they just spend all the time in the clinch and neither one's landing offense, it turns out to be a real stinker. Pedro Munhoz versus Kyler Phillips. This was fun to watch. If you did not watch this fight, I highly recommend it. Go watch this one. It was excellent. Phillips is active, moving a lot, throwing kicks and jabs, right hands, but most of them are blocked or dodged. Lots of offense, though. Tons of output. Phillips pokes him in the eye as he's standing up. No punishment there. The varied offense from Phillips is allowing him to land more, but nothing's landing hard, right? Phillips landing a knee to the head from the side. Like, he kneed him from the side. It was fantastic. Really cool combo after he hurts Munhoz. He's putting it on him. Phillips pokes Munhoz amid the takedown, amidst the knees to the face. Phillips is leaning back, avoiding the hook and countering with his own. Holy shit, he looks smooth. 55-19 for striking numbers in favor of Phillips, and he hurt him this round. Got to give him a 10-9. Munhoz is trying to land the low kicks to slow Phillips down, but it just, he didn't do it enough. Munhoz is using the pressure to stifle the offense from Phillips, hampering the amount of offense this round, so he wasn't able to throw as much, but Munhoz, wasn't able to keep Phillips from throwing completely and wasn't able to land enough of his own, right? He got outstruck here 32-20. He had a better round here, just not enough. I had a 20-18 going into the last round. Phillips looks like he has enough energy to stay on his toes and keep moving the same way, so it was going to be an uphill battle for Munhoz. Phillips lands the right hand of the body, and where there would normally be a pause in the action, he comes right back with the spinning back kick right to the pause. Similar to how Sean O'Malley was doing against Vera, he was doing in this fight. Not as, I wouldn't argue it was as smooth or as pretty all the time, but in certain moments, absolutely it was. Even when Phillips misses, he throws more out there, keeping the range and finding the mark sometimes, right? So if he would miss a kick or something, he'd throw another one just to keep Munhoz on his toes and keep him away. This round looked identical to the previous one. We look at the striking numbers here, 27-13. Yeah, look at this, 80 attempted strikes versus 75 attempted strikes, 44 attempted strikes versus 42 attempted strikes. It's virtually identical rounds, slightly less landed in this round, but obviously his. All 3 judges gave it 30-27 in favor of Phillips. That's how I had it as well. Excellent fight for him. He should be back in the rankings. I think before this it was Munhoz was ranked 13. He should be back in the rankings. I think if he continues to improve like this and he can keep his grappling on par with his striking or even close to what he's doing in striking, I think he's going to be a tough challenge in that division. All right, Iwan Cutelaba, always in for a fun fight sometimes, versus Philipe Lins. Both guys throwing low kicks. Cutelaba throwing his kind of with disdain, not like almost like he doesn't want to do it. Cutelaba's looking reserved as Lins pikes from the outside. Kicks. That's got to be kicks from the outside. Pokes. It's pokes. Pikes. You freaking dumb. I'm an idiot. He pokes him from the outside. Lins keeps landing that low kick, and Cutelaba looking to be affected by it. So, he damaged that lead leg real bad. Cutelaba landing the right-hand counter to the low kick, and Lins goes down momentarily, making his read. I wonder if it's too late. Lins finding the mark with his right hand. Cutelaba fires back and shakes Lins, so he focuses on the takedown. Now he can't get it. In the firefight, Lins is getting the worst of it, but the sustained damage goes in his favor through the round, right? 33-23 in favor of Lins. It's not that he didn't do more damage. He did, and that's why I gave him the round. It's that when they get in the firefight, he definitely gets the worst. Cutelaba finds a big shot. Lins takes a big one. Like, they'll both land their big shots, but Lins wants to stop doing it and ends up going for a takedown or exiting. So had he done that the entire time, I think we'd be talking about a different story, but smartly, he did not do that. If Lins stays on the outside and pokes and goes after the lead leg, it's an easy path to victory for him. But the wild exchanges are a bad idea, like I just said. Cutelaba just can't put weight on that lead leg, but he's still fighting through it like a tough son of a bitch. Lins gets to the body lock trip on top for a bit, plays the one up, one down game where he's standing over him. I fucking hate that shit. It's such bullshit. He lands some clean shots as Cutelaba gets up, but Cutelaba fires right back and Lins goes for the takedown again. So he immediately does not want to exchange with him, goes for the takedown. You know, he runs away on the feet. Similar, like there was a lot of that in this in this card. 19-13 outstrikes him. Lots of control time for him. Don't need to go over it. 20-18. Lins doesn't want to stand and goes for the takedown immediately. No damage. Running away yet again. Mike Beltran said that Cutelaba elbowed him behind the head. It's weird that warrants a warning when this guy is losing, but not usually during a fight-ending sequence. So it's kind of interesting that happens. Lins gets booed and separated for holding on and then runs away yet again. Not a good look. This last round, Cutelaba did land some big shots. 15-11 in favor of Lins. If you gave this to Lins, I get it. It's whatever, but Cutelaba could have this one. 29-28. Lins needs more cardio. That was my takeaway from this one. Oh, all three judges gave the first round to Cutelaba, and then the last round to Lins. Okay. Yeah, that last round was bad. Did I score that wrong? I scored it wrong. It doesn't matter. I was so bored and I hated that fight. Lins won the fight. He won that fight. It's bad fight. Don't watch it. This one was fun. We're not going to break down a lot here. Probably don't even need to pull up stats. Michel Pereira versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. Pereira coming out with a dance with his coach. So fucking fun. Not too much, just fun, right? He dances for a little bit in the tunnel and then comes out. Perfect. 2 hard body kicks from Pereira, not Pereira. Pereira, and Oleksiejczuk lands the left-hand counter. A hard right hand to the body from Pereira, and some knees, and Oleksiejczuk is hurt. Pereira dives in on the rear naked choke, but no hooks in, and doesn't matter. Puts him to sleep anyway. Holy shit, that was crazy. Great fight. I think he's excellent. I think at 185, he's going to be a challenger. I think somebody's here. The dogs. Dogs say somebody's here. Here, again, another one where there's not much to break down. Robelis, Despaigne versus Josh Perisian. Not much to break down here. Despaigne throwing hard right hands with no defense. Perisian rushes him, and then Despaigne hits him with the right. The fight's called off almost immediately. I thought it was early. I watched the replay. He did get hit twice on the ground, so not a bad stoppage. It's just... It's hard to take anything away from this. Despaigne hits hard. He's a heavyweight. He has some strikes. Let's see what he does going forward. Might be fun. Might be a fun fighter. All right, CJ Vergara versus Assu Almabayev. Vergara missed weight by a pound. This is the third time that he's missed weight. This is unacceptable. Like, I know it's a pound, and people say, "Oh, it's only a pound. Oh, it's only half a pound," or "Oh, it's only..." Doesn't matter. It's a consistent thing now. This is a pattern of not being able to make weight. Hard low kicks from Almabayev and drops Vergara for a second with the hard kicks. They keep coming. Almabayev looking for the single leg, driving him to the fence, sweeps the leg right out to get him down. Grappling is very fluid from him. Almabayev controlled most of the round, and then eventually when they separate, he gets loose, landing a couple shots, but takes a hard left hand and then immediately goes for the takedown again. Doesn't want to exchange with him because he does get, Vergara does hit hard, and Almabayev wants no part of it. 16-7 for striking numbers, but really it was a control time. 3 minutes of it for Almabayev. Obviously, it's around 10-9. Second round, Vergara's winding up for one big shot at a time, looking to hurt Almabayev, but none of them really land. Almabayev works through the awkward stance, using the headlock to the single leg takedown, on top for most of the round, right? 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Kind of a boring fight. This was kind of a stinker as well. Last round, Almabayev has no worry about anything, so Vergara has a huge uphill battle fighting the varying attacks that are coming back at him. Almabayev gets a takedown. They get back up. Almabayev uses a takedown attempt to land some hard shots in punishment. A big right hand from Vergara, and Almabayev's running around, and then failed jumping kick, and Almabayev's back to the grappling, right? A failed kick is what allows Almabayev to get back on top. Almabayev gets him down again and gets tagged a bit on the feet. He landed some good stuff this round too, but his cardio is going to need a checkup for 5 rounds. So striking numbers here, 16-14 in favor of Almabayev, but he was getting tagged on the feet and his cardio was waning after 3 rounds. He does need to work on that if he plans on going anywhere. It was 30-27, all 3 judges. So easily his, right? Hold on, let me check to make sure. Yep. Makes sense. All right, Joanne Wood versus Maryna Moroz. Joanne Wood is retiring. She said she was retiring before this fight, so this is going to be her last one. Moroz catches a knee to the body, gets a takedown. Wood attempts a heel hook, but doesn't capitalize on it, staying on her back. What a stinker of a round. Again, this fight started so bad. It heated up, but 4 minutes and 35 seconds of control time for Moroz. Virtually no strikes, 5-4. Very boring round. Second and third round, though, much more fun. Moroz knows that she can just stay on top, so she moves into for a clinch for 2 minutes, but can't get her down. Moroz is yelling and landing the right hand at the end of her strikes as Wood is front kicking to the body. Wood's doing a better job putting offense out there, landing with the right hand and some good jabs. Some knees to the body. Wood finally finding the mark. Moroz countering, both women landing well down the stretch. Much better round, I think. Wood did enough. Just barely. So I hit 19-19. Looking at the striking numbers here, pretty close, all things considered. She did get outstruck by 13. 58-45 in favor of Wood, but I feel like that she did enough. She landed enough damage down the stretch. Absolutely her round. So 19-19 going to the third. Moroz pressing the issue and landing more through the first half. Wood is just not landing enough with her hands, right? The body kicks are her best attack, and she needs to find the range with her hands down the stretch. She was getting outlanded through the first half of this round. Moroz is outpointing her down the stretch. The only thing that can win the round for Wood is landing a big shot. As I'm typing this, Wood lands that spinning back fist that rocks Moroz, and then she just starts to unload, walking her down, looking for the finish. Holy shit, the guts to go for that finish. She gets it for me. What a fucking ending to that fight and her career. 74-52. Looking at the judges' scorecards. What? Jason Grenier gave it the second round to Moroz, but Alicia Rodriguez and Christopher Lee got it right, giving the last 2 rounds to Joanne Wood. Great fight for her. I'm glad that she got the win. Not that Moroz deserved to lose necessarily, but it was. It's always, let's be honest, it's fun when a person goes to retire and they get the win in their last fight, especially in a gutsy performance like that. All right, that is it. I know this video went a little bit long. There was a lot of fights on this card. So if you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way the next video is coming out. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Hit the like button if you did like this video, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. Love y'all.